Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit fun because basically I am going to be filming my 2024 studying wrapped, because everyone does like a reading wrapped, everyone does like an end of year wrapped and just shares things that have happened. So I thought, what better way to finish 2024 than do a studying wrapped, because that's quite exciting. So I use an app called Focus To Do to track all of my studying work, and I thought today I would share my stats with you for the whole year. And yeah, so I've made a little presentation, as you do, and I'm going to go through it. I'm going to screen record my laptop and I'm going to put it either in the corner or my face in the corner. I haven't worked out which yet, but yeah, let's just get right into it. And the first thing we're going to cover is the total amount of hours I have spent studying, and that is 301 hours and 58 minutes. That's so many hours. It's crazy. 301 hours and 58 minutes I have spent studying in 2024. I'm shocked. Honestly, I don't know how I've done that, to be completely honest with you. Moving swiftly on, I'm going to go through the busiest months of the year in terms of studying. So, in third place, we have March, which was 42 hours and 46 minutes. That's third place, okay? Second place, we have May with 45 hours and 10 minutes. And in first place, we have November with 48 hours and 31 minutes. 2 days I spent studying in November, like 2 full days, which when you say it like that, doesn't sound big at all. It sounds like minuscule. It sounds tiny, because it's like, oh, I only spent 2 days studying in November. Sorry? What? But when you look at it on a big scale, 48 hours sounds a lot longer. And obviously it's spread out across the whole month, which is, yeah, kind of crazy, to be honest. And then moving swiftly on to our quietest months of the year. So I feel like 2 of them are going to be fairly obvious, but let's go through the other 2 months that are going to be maybe not as obvious, because they're kind of months that I've had uni but I haven't done a lot of work. So in third place, we have June with 11 hours and 21 minutes, which still sounds like quite a lot when you think about it. Number 2 is September with 2 hours and 22 minutes, all the 2s there. And then number 1 is July and August, where I did absolutely no hours, 0, completely none, because I just wasn't at uni, so what was the point? But yeah, I guess June kind of counts as one of the months I wasn't at uni as well, but I did have an extension that rolled into June, which is why I have 11 hours. But yeah, so they are my 3 quietest months. I'm surprised it's September, to be honest, because that was the start of third year. But I mean, at the start of third year, I remember sitting down with all my friends and going, I have nothing to do, I don't know what to do right now. So that's probably why, but yeah, 2 hours and 22 minutes. And that's, I think, just a week, because I didn't have I was only back for a week before the end of September. So my modules studied this year, I'm going to just break it all down, even though they're all on the slide already, but in first semester I did cognitive psychology. This is second year, by the way. Second year, first semester, so this is like January. Cognitive psychology, social psychology, research methods and statistics. In second semester, I had personality and fundamentals, independent practical work, and psychology of learning and teaching. And then in third year, I had first semester, which is from September till now, lifespan development, positive psychology, and then my dissertation module as well. So fair few modules, quite a lot covered, which is so exciting. Then the next thing I want to cover is my most studied modules for the year. We're going to go back from 4 to 1, and we're going to cover the modules that I've spent the most time on, which who knows if they'll be my favourite or least favourite. We will see. But Coming in at number 4, we have Psychology of Learning and Teaching, and I spent 37 hours and 15 minutes. So that is one of my second semester modules, and that equivalates to one day, 13 hours and 16 minutes or 15 minutes. Mad, absolutely crazy, but yeah, that's number 4. In number 3, we have lifespan development with 37 hours and 30 minutes, which is the equivalent of one day, 13 hours and 30 minutes. This is one of my third year modules. I've been doing this since September, and I'm not even at the end yet. I've only done one assignment. I have one more due in 2 weeks. So like, make it make sense. How have I spent more time on this than some of my other second year modules that I had for the whole of the semester? Crazy. I say that. Let me see what the other 2 are, because they might be my other 2 second semester modules, and then it will make sense. Okay, this one is. Coming in at number 2 is Personality and Fundamentals. I spent 52 hours and 58 minutes on this module. 52 hours and 58 minutes. That's nearly 53 hours, okay? So that is 2 days, 4 hours and 58 minutes. Basically, we can call it 2 days, 5 hours. Sorry? Yeah, I found this module quite difficult, and it had an exam, which is why I spent so much time on it. But yeah, I found it hard. We had our film report, and then we had our exam, and it was the exam, I think, that took the majority of the brunt in terms of adding the hours up for that one. Coming in at number 1, my most studied module in the last year for 2024 is Independent Practical Work, which is basically a mini dissertation, and I spent 55 hours and 51 minutes, which is 2 days, 7 hours and 51 minutes. 2 days, 8 hours basically. Mad. So we had 2 assignments for this one, and yeah, spent absolutely ages on that module, but it's fine, it's great. That's actually crazy. Mad. So when you say it in hours, it sounds a lot longer than when you say it in days. When you say it in days, it's like, oh, she only spent like a day. She only spent 2 days studying for those modules. Also makes me think, though, I totally could have done it in like the day before it was due. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I couldn't personally because I stress out, but like I could, because like that's all it takes. But we're not going to recommend that, and we don't do that. But now we can talk about my favourite modules, because we have to do it. We have to talk the favourites. Although I haven't included my least favourites. I could probably tell you them though without slides, but so coming in at number 4, I don't know if these are in order. I'll tell you once I've told you them all, if they're in order or not. But number 4, I've got listed as Research Methods and Statistics / Independent Practical Work. I kind of class these as the same module. They're not, but they're both like stats, and they're both like research reports and stuff like that. So I've kind of cheated and grouped them together. I mean, you can say whether you take that or not, because, you know. And then number 3, I've put Lifespan Development. I absolutely love this module. It is so interesting, and I love the discussions that we have. So yeah, it has to be on my favourite modules list for 2024. Then we have Social Psychology. I'm such a social psychology girl. I love social psychology. I love looking into why people do things, and I love kind of looking at the things behind it, and I just love all the theories in social psych. So of course that has to be on the list. What is my number 1? Let's have a look. Psychology of Learning and Teaching. I really enjoyed this module. I loved the assignments. I loved everything about this module. Makes sense that it's on that list for me. But yeah, so they are my favourite modules of the year. Are they in order? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just my 4 favourites, to be honest. I actually don't know if I could say my least favourites. I don't really have least favourites. I find all of the content really interesting, but there's some content that I find more difficult and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say maybe like biopsych and cogpsych, they're the ones that I find more challenging, but I still really enjoy them, especially like once I get into my assignments and into like the prep and stuff. I'm like, I sit there and I'm like, I actually love this. This is so interesting. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's keep going. My average grade for 2024 is an A-, which is a 73. So my uni used to do things in letter grades. They now don't. They are only using numbers again, so going back to how every other uni does stuff. But my average grade is 73, which is good. That is a first class. So I'm really happy with that. And then my highest grade that I got in the year was 90, which is an A+, and that was for my independent practical work. Like I said, really enjoyed that module, and I just loved doing the work for it. And that was for the portfolio project, where you had to do 4 research projects and then write up about 3 of them and submit it. And it was like really minimal write-up, like we didn't really know what we were doing, and I didn't know that I did that well, but yeah, I was very, very, very proud of that work. And I'd say I spent a lot of time on it as well. And then of course, if I'm telling you my highest grade, I have to tell you my lowest grade, and it was a 58, which is still such a good grade. It was a C+, and that was for my cognitive psychology exam. I'll be honest, with the amount of work I put into that exam, I was expecting higher, but I was so stressed and I found it so difficult. I did my cog psych and social psych exam. It was like within 2 days. They were like the day after each other. I can't remember which one was first and which one was second, but I was much more confident in my social psych exam, and I knew that. So I did much better in that one and a lot worse in my cog psych. But the exam for cog psych, I think, was a little bit harder in the layout of it, but such a good grade. I'm still so proud of it. And yeah, it's really good. Okay, this next one, I had to put in, it was like a last minute thing that I thought of, and I was like, I have to do this. And that is like feedback that I've gotten. So let's talk about some feedback. And we're going to go through them one by one, and I'm going to talk about how iconic they are and how great they are and things like that. So first one I've written is just iconic. So it says, PS, the pink histograms and box plots made me smile. It is good to see that you engage in enhancing the output appearance. Do I need to say anything else? It's pink, it's girly, I love it, I'm just a girl. I am changing the colours of my histograms and box plots because it makes it more fun. I love it. Absolutely love it. One of my friends said to me at uni, they were like, it's the fact that now every lecturer knows whose work they're marking because you are the only one that changes the colours of your box plots and histograms so that they're all pink. And I was like, okay. I was like, bro. But yeah, it's me, it's iconic, it's great. And yeah, I just laughed when I saw that and it really made me smile. Next bit of feedback, I've just put why thank you with a cool face emoji, and it just says very good academic style. Oh, I can't. I'm absolutely creasing at myself right now. Okay. The next one I put, the shock. Okay. Wow. Exclamation point. Excellent work. Full stop. So the only reason I said the shock for this one is because I know exactly what lecturer is from. And the lecturer then came up to me and my friends like a couple of weeks later, and they were like, I can't believe how good you all did in that assignment. And we were all just sat there like, rude. Like, hello, of course we did well. But yeah, it was hilarious. And then the next one was when I used a statistic from before I was even born. Okay, so it was a 2023 statistic, and it said stats about the attainment gap for ethnic minority groups in UK schools have changed since 2003. It's important to always use up-to-date stats to set the context for your discussion. I don't know why I used this. Clearly must not have been thinking. But yeah, I used a statistic from before I was born. When like everything changes so rapidly as well. Silly me. And then I've just picked out a word from this one, which is sterling. And it says, overall, sterling work, well done. Thanks. It actually says, but overall, sterling work, well done. So that was after they gave me all of my criticisms. And then the last one is not me using the wrong theory, which is, he described Haight's theory of moral foundations rather than his theory of moral institutions / sentiments. I just used the complete wrong theory in my assignment. But you know what? I still did well. Anyway, they're like the funniest bits of feedback. There wasn't even that much. I literally read through all of my feedback the other day to do this. But there wasn't that much that I could pick out that was like negative. So like a lot of it's quite positive, but apart from me using the wrong theory and like this, yeah. But like it's just hilarious. I can't. It's so funny. And then I just wanted to say, because this is basically the end of this video, but I just wanted to say that this is not me like being like, oh, I got these grades, like, oh, I spent this long studying, because everyone does things differently, everyone gets different grades, everyone spends a different amount of time on things. So there'll be people that study more than me, there'll be people that study less than me, and that is completely fine. This is not me saying you have to study for 300 hours in a year, because I will not be doing that next year. I'm telling you now, I'm not doing that in 2025. I say that I'm in 2025 as I'm filming this, but this is not happening in 2025. And yeah, it's completely up to you how much work you put into things and how much time you put into things, because sometimes it's about like quality, not quantity, and it just takes me a little bit longer sometimes when I'm reading studies. That's the majority of this time, by the way, is when I'm reading articles and reading studies and reading theories to actually understand what it means, because I don't have a clue half the time. I'm like, what does this actually say? ChatGPT, like, what does this sentence mean? But yeah, so do not use this as me being like, oh, you have to study for this long to be a good student. No. Trust me, you do not. You do not. But yeah, I'm just very thankful that I actually logged all of this for the last year, because this has been really fun. And I can't wait to do it when I finish uni again. So I will see you in June, July to do my studying wrapped for my academic year, because I'll be finished. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you again soon for a brand new one. Bye!